Hello, everyone. Casey here, jumping in before the episode to let you know that the Jesters have a live show performance coming up. On July 29th, we are going to be performing at Sip and Play in Brooklyn. The show starts at 7 p.m., and it's going to be run by the lovely Rachel Kordell, and it's titled The Last Wish. You can get your tickets down below in the description, or you can buy them at the door there. But we hope to see you there either way for this amazing live show performance.
It came from a land of brutality and evil. It came from terror and fear.
Calling me through the reeds, the wind sweeps, the waves bury me. Blood and dirt, flesh and rain, it's mud all the same. Before rivers, before bones, old like the marshlands, old like the marshlands, old like the marshlands when they heard their name.
Welcome back to Blood on the Reeds, everybody.
I think you should retake that. But all right.
No, that was a perfect intro. Anywho, bringing to us to the big screen today is Casey Reardon.
I play Elmer Fink. And do you know that if you're hearing a rooster caw at a burial, the one who's been buried is a sinner? Things to think about.
Ooh.
Wow.
Rachel Kordell.
I play Laura Turner, and what's happening? Was that what did I do? I'm dreaming. Or is this a nightmare?
Seth Coveyou.
You gotta think with your dipstick, Jimmy.
Andrew Frost.
My name is Vernon Hodges, and this reminds me of the time that I was traveling through the Appalachia and saw myself a sheep squatch. I was the last person to see it. They're not going to see it again until the 90s.
Wow, you sheared that sheep squatch?
Oh, I surely shorn it.
God
Made a
damn.
lovely coat. And special guest, Nate Brass.
What's up, interwebians? I'm Chet. Did you know that Sasquatch is only a size 6 in Bigfoot terms?
Very petite feet.
That was an incredible cryptid fact. Oh my god. All right, you guys excited? You ready? Should we do a little recap?
Yes, where did my arrow
so
go?
Long.
Oh.
Last time, our delightful Vernon Hodges woke up and found himself sat next to the fire talking with the strange girl with odd hair and different colored lips and bequeathed her a name. Bailey, I believe, is the name you gave her. The two had a delightful conversation, which might have generated more questions than answers, to be honest. But you know that the mayor there, has control over her and is some sort of threat, needs to be taken care of, one James Theach. The group of you woke up. Laura found out that she had a new marking on her lip, and you all talked for a little bit before leaving the forest. You heard a call from the lighthouse down the way, Chet hearing it a little bit differently than the rest of you, before you all headed off across the marshlands, where you encountered 3 young people crouched over a deer that they had clearly freshly hunted. However, John saw immediately through the deception and realized that it was actually a man. Upon realizing that you all knew and the ruse was up, the three of them wolfed out, revealing that one of them was a full werewolf and the other two were half werewolves, before we entered into combat. However, we didn't get that far in combat because all three of them were stunned both with magic and verbally through diplomacy, which in a way is magic in itself.
What?
And finally, Elmer fired a poison-tipped arrow thanks to Chet across the grassy clearing. So Elmer.
Yeah.
Why don't we finally get that attack roll? This is who are you attacking?
Great. I'm attacking the main guy.
All right, the main guy.
The big bad, yeah.
They're all the same difficulty. Difficulty 3.
Okay.
You got anything to ease that?
Well...
Any good
No.
with arrows?
I mean, I can still use arrows. It is a medium weapon, which I can use, but I don't have anything extra to ease it. I'm going to assume that this is a speed roll here.
Yes, this is a speed roll.
And I can spend... Is it 1 to ease it or 2?
3 to ease it,
3.
unless you have an edge in that pool.
I do not. For some reason, my edge is in might, which is my smallest pool.
That is strange.
It is very strange.
You can choose where the edge goes. It probably gave you the option.
No, it gave it to me in might. I didn't have a choice.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. All
yeah.
right.
For the explorer type, you don't get a choice. It has to go into might, and I feel like that's wrong. It should go in speed, but what do I know? So I'm going to spend 3 to ease that by 1, bringing it down to a difficulty 2. Because I really want this to hit. So it didn't hit.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah. Really fucking disappointing, because that's a 2 on the die.
Not a critical fail, which I believe there are repercussions for that.
Really fucking
That would've hit
disappointing that
me.
this arrow misses.
Yeah, which I am going to put in a GM intrusion here. And say this is, well, I mean, it's an intrusion on you, Casey, but it affects Laura.
No.
So I'm going to say that this is an intrusion on you, Laura, because the consequences are happening to you. Elmer, your foot slips as you do this. And rather than the arrow flying into a werewolf or into the reeds safely, it thunks into Laura's back.
I would like to throw salt at this. I can negate without spending anything and GM intrusion.
Is it any intrusion or is it?
I believe so. I mean, this is my role, so I would assume that I can use it for this. I'll double check what it is. This is from my superstitious.
I love it. You start to slip, I think, and there's even a whisper on a wind as if some sort of force is making this happen, and you steel your nerves. And I feel like you think to yourself, again, I'm not afraid, or I ain't afraid of no haint, and manage to correct the angle, and the arrow flies into the marsh instead.
Oh, thank God.
This is actually from my superstitious, not fear no hate. But what I think this looks like is the small piece of honeycomb that Elmer keeps on him. It almost seems to, as he's slipping, it seems to glow a little bit in his pocket, and maybe you can see that through the linen pants that he has on. And as his foot starts to slip, you can see it basically push his foot back down into solid ground.
Nice. Okay, then let's continue. Initiative here. So let's hear that was
I
your
would
prepared.
also like Ruth to go as well.
Okay, Ruth can go.
Look at
Because
that little
Ruth
fella
also
go.
has her own stat block.
She's
All right.
a bear otter.
So she has... she can inflict 1 point of damage is what her damage does. So she is going to jump on one of the ones in the back and just kind of try and like claw at them from behind, kind of scampering all around them.
Mm-hmm. All right, from your point of view, we'll just call them left and right. Which one, left or right?
We'll go right.
Okay.
All right, so it's a level 1 creature. I don't know what that necessarily means.
It means you're probably still just going to roll for them. Do they have any skills or anything that's going to help them? Are they trained in biting?
Okay. That is, so close. An 18 on the die.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's close to adding on 2 extra damage there, I believe. No. So the otter lunges out and as
you're making her sound so
gross.
gross.
He is a little bit gross. There's a little bit of foam coming out of his mouth.
Sounds like a weasel, like Sean Gunn's
out
weasel.
Of the reeds, as he lances out and bites on the back of one of the guy's legs, or no, the right one, so that would be the woman's leg, and deals a point of damage to them. So that is your turn, Elmer. So Laura, John, Vernon.
With that little fun experience, I think I'm gonna back off. Okay. I don't really have a weapon, and I'm not really much of a fighter. Geez, I don't even know what I can do, but I at least would like to use my move to back up. Anybody else wants to jump in and do something? Maybe I can help on something.
Yeah, you can use your action to help somebody else to ease their roll.
Yeah, I think that'll be what my action is whenever it comes down to it.
Then Vernon or John.
Sure. I'd like to persuade the werewolves to back down and go away.
Hey, it's a good idea.
I mean, the only thing that's hurt them so far is an otter.
Sure.
So this is going to be hindered 1, so it's going to be a challenge 4.
Okay. So it's not going to be hindered because of my understanding. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
So bring it back down to a 3.
And I have a skill. I'm skilled in persuasion.
Okay, so it's down 1 more. So it's a 2.
And I'd like to lower it by another 1 with an intellect. So, and I have an edge, so I'm going to take 2 from my pool instead of 3.
Holy crap. Okay, roll above a 3.
All right. That's a natural 20. That's crazy.
Fucking amazing.
Are you fucking kidding me? You were just supposed to fight them. You were just supposed to fight and kill them. And
I'm not about that.
We were just
I'm a speaker.
On,
I speak from the heart.
We can move on this way.
All right. This is going to end combat.
Amazing.
And they are going to leave. That might have some bad ramifications. Because they have seen you and know you. But what do you say to them?
I am going to throw myself in between everyone, raise my hand high, and the voice I speak with is evocative of shaking the bones.
Whoa.
It rings through and true like a clarion bell. And I say, "You are not just beasts. You are men too. Go in peace. We are no foe of yours."
They all step back. And you watch as the transformation on them, that fur sloughs off, the wolf teeth fall out of their mouths, and you can hear bones snapping and cracking back into place as all 3 of them untransform, or transform back into men and women, as if your words had the power to do that, and they look shocked that they are calm. This anger, this animalistic urge to rip your guts out and consume them is gone from them. and they look at you bewildered. At you, John, especially.
I look misty-eyed, and I look almost scared of not them anymore, of myself. And I look at them intently and softly. I say, I am truly sorry.
The two in the back shake their head and they just leave. The one in the front, middle-aged, black and short cropped hair, dark skin, he just simply looks at you. I don't know what tricks you're playing, but you ain't making it off this island. It might not be by me, but Theech, he'll never let you leave. And he runs into the reeds.
All right.
Whoa.
I think, like, with a beat, Elmer looks at you, John, and says, "Where did you learn a thing like that?"
Well, I couldn't tell you. I don't know if I've ever raised my voice like that or spoken like that before. But I tell you this. There's nothing more a man can do than stand up for what's right. And it ain't always with violence.
You're right.
I'm just going to put a firm hand on John's shoulder and grip him. You're a good man, John Douglas. Good man. Just give it a little shake and continue on.
You all are in this empty clearing now, the wind rustling those phragmites as if creating a chorus of little shakers all around you. It's as if the song of the marsh is elevated a little bit as an act of kindness and mercy that has not been seen here in a long time is felt and rings out with ramifications that cannot be seen by the eyes but can be felt in the heart. But for now, you all are standing in this empty clearing with a dead body at your feet, guts ripped out and strewn across in a macabre mural of violence.
Is this something like artistry at play here, sigils almost like a Vitruvian man, or just bestial violence?
Bestial violence.
Okay. All right.
But there's always patterns in nature.
Can I use a player intrusion?
Absolutely. As soon as I hear from Elmer here real fast.
So Elmer wanted to go over to this body and pull out another penny and place it on their chest.
Love it.
I'm going to use Question the Spirits.
Whoa, that's good. Chet, real fast, why don't you tell us what your intrusion is going to be, and that'll help us dictate which of these is going to happen first, because people act independently, of course.
No, I think Casey's thing's way cooler. Never mind.
Well,
I want to hear what the ghost said.
Yeah. So like me, players can do player intrusions as well, which is really fun. However, they don't really have a choice in them. I do, though. So if it's crazy, I can say no to it. But that's the main difference between those two right there. What does that ability do specifically?
Yes. So, Question the Spirits. You call a spirit to you and petition it to answer a few questions, usually no more than 3 before the spirit fades. First, you must summon it. If it's a spirit of the dead, which I assume it is here, you must have personally known the creature or have an object that was owned by the creature or touch the physical remains of it, which we have here.
Oh, yes.
If the spirit responds, it can manifest an insubstantial shade that answers for itself. It can inhabit an object or any remains you provide, or it can manifest as an invisible presence that you speak for. The spirit might not wish to answer your questions, in which case you must persuade it to help, but I have a feeling it might want to help us out in this, seeing how the werewolves killed him. So basically, I could use deception, diplomacy, blackmail, that kind of stuff, whatever it may be.
Okay.
But it's just an action to do.
And you can ask them 3 questions?
It says usually 3, but yeah.
I like that rule, so we're going to play with that rule. And
Sure,
you know
absolutely.
from summoning spirits, you most likely only have 3 questions that you can ask. You might be able to get more, if you ask the right questions, maybe. What does this look like, summoning? You place the coin on him. Is it as simple as that?
No, I think there's a little bit more to this. Like placing the coin on the chest and wrapping his hands around it so it's clasped within him is more of a sign of respect than it is a summoning of the spirit itself. I think to summon the spirit, the first thing that he does is places a palm to the forehead of the body, closes his eyes, and then he starts whispering. Very quietly. It's hard to understand what he's saying. Maybe you can't understand it all. Maybe it's not even actual words. Maybe it's just the language of the universe and of the spirits. And suddenly, his neck snaps backward, eyes going up, and his pupils go so wide that they fill his entire eyes. And everything goes black for Elmer.
Woo!
And to everybody else, he is frozen, stuck in a position stiff as a dead corpse himself.
Whoa, okay.
Whoa.
So can you now see the ghost in this sort of liminal space, or is the ghost going to appear to everyone else?
I think the ghost appears for everyone else,
Interesting.
Oh.
possessing his body. So I will, basically, I'm typically like everybody would be able to ask questions, but I like the idea of Elmer just becoming possessed by it in this particular instance. I think it's different for every single ghost. Obviously, we summoned Willie earlier, and that was a different manifestation, but...
Oh.
You all have 3 questions. Go for it.
Collectively?
Yes.
Collectively, yes. No, you don't get 12 questions.
Damn it.
Can we huddle and then decide a question?
Chet, you would probably be the one to recognize this the most as the person who has helped Elmer with his ghost abilities. I don't know if it's manifested exactly this way before, but you know that sometimes he is the vessel of whatever spirit it is.
Hello there, Mr. Spirit. I'm Chet. You're inside my friend's body. Who are you?
Elmer's mouth kind of opens up, his eyes still staring out, and his head snaps towards you, Chet. His mouth doesn't move, it remains agape as this other voice comes out of it. Bartholomew Crest. I was a son and a brother. I sought to defend and I could not.
Laura stands there agape. She was previously staring at her hands and is now just what the fuck?
What does it mean? He was a brother and a... Did he say defender?
What did he defend?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It almost seems as if the eyes are rolling towards you, Laura, as you ask that question, although there are no actual pupils for them to move. And then the head snaps directly at you. Against the devil we fought, but he was too strong, James Theach.
You got one more question.
I don't want to say it in character, but I kind of want to be what
What did you find?
not what did you find, but what didn't work? What'd you learn? That's what I want to ask,
That
Or what
would
can we do to
probably
stop
be
him?
a good question to ask.
Oh, okay, I passed that on to somebody else because Laura is stunned.
It's a good Vernon question.
Yeah.
I agree.
And what can we do to end Mr. Theach?
As you ask that question, Vernon, his head is snapped quickly for both Laura and Chet, but for you, it slowly turns, and you can hear the bones of Elmer's neck creaking as it does so. With power stole, he feels no pain and can take no harm. You must break it and rip his power away. They will know.
And with that, Elmer collapses to the ground. Elmer, I think you are unconscious in this moment. Somebody could snap you awake in a moment, but you collapse to the ground. And we watch as, I want to call it, it is rot, but more decay sets in on the corpse. Not completely, but it's as if the corpse has been aged a few months out in this marsh.
Ugh.
And it sinks slightly into the ground.
I don't know if my stomach can take so much more strangeness.
John, as that happens, though, you would see something fall out of his pocket.
Okay. Something fell out of his pocket. Someone else pick it
touch
up.
it.
I don't.
Hey,
I don't
touch
wanna,
it. You want to touch it? Go on,
I'll
touch
walk over.
I'm
I'll
gonna
walk
touch
over
it.
and
I don't know.
see what fell out. I'll be the one to touch the corpse.
You
goop.
would see a charm with a metal ring on one side. It is set into a little bit of metal, a keychain almost, we would call it, but it would be a charm. And it is a fossil of a lightning bug, about the size of your palm, so a little large for a lightning bug.
Cool.
Eat it.
Or a firefly, a
Eat it,
lanternfly. They have many names.
Very, very interesting.
Not a lantern fly.
Yeah.
Screw the lantern.
Vernon, how many
When it's
ciphers
that
do you
big, it's a
have?
lanternfly.
Does each ring count as a separate cipher?
Yeah.
I think you'd be a little screwed if that were the case.
You would be completely screwed, so no, they are a set. They are
So-
one cipher.
So this would be my second cipher.
That would be your second. How many can you carry? Everyone has a maximum amount. Okay, so you are safe from them interacting. Though above the table, I meant for John to be able to get that because he does not have one. But if John
fix
would
that.
not like it, then there will be ones in the future.
It's not that I don't want it. It's the role play of the situation.
John being like, I don't want to touch that. And then you're like, there's something in his pocket. It's like, somebody touch that.
All right, you have the information that you do, and you may set forth again on your journey. You still have that gut feeling, this odd sensation that you should go towards the lighthouse.
Yeah, we're chatting first, right?
Does anybody look at Laura?
Yeah, I think we do at this point.
Yeah,
Why are
what's
you
up
going
with
to
Laura?
say that?
Her lower jaw is misaligned. One
Oh.
section of it, as if split where that marking is slightly lower than the other.
Oh my God, Laura, you got Picasso'd.
It is a little bit like Picasso.
Hey,
What?
Chet, you can't say that to someone. That's so
What?
rude.
What do you mean? What?
Look at her chin.
Laura, are
She's
you
all
feeling okay?
Picasso-y.
I feel my face. I feel the disalignment.
You touch along your jawbone, feeling along that bone, and you get right to that middle point, and you can feel that your jawbone parting where your teeth are, all the way down, has completely bisected.
What is
Ooh.
happening? What is happening? What is this? What is this? Oh, God. Oh, God.
Calm down.
Do you
I know
think
it's a
you
lot to
became a
take in.
lycanthrope?
What?
Well, you said when you were attacked, you were killed by like a werewolf, right? Instead of being dragged
Well,
into the sea like us.
I remember his arm like separating like we just did, and a claw just jutting out of his, and the claw just going through my throat, and I don't know. I don't understand.
All right. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah, maybe it's just swelling. You could try the cold water and just kind of dab that on with the rag.
Shut up!
Oh.
I thought it was a good idea, John.
Besides that, is there anything out of the ordinary going on?
What?
Any visual stimulus or anything out of the ordinary?
Weird noises?
There's a song.
A song? What kind of song?
When I don't think about it, it's quite beautiful. It's like violin. It's violin plucking, but there's more to it.
With what I know, is there any kind of phenomena that I have?
Much like before, song is a constant in myth and mythology. This could be a million different things. Specifically, violin. There are ancient things that weave gorgeous song. The shaping of the world, there are legends that it was crafted with song. And then there are trickster beings that use song to lure people away. It could be a number of different things, specifically plucking of violin strings, of fiddle strings. You're not too sure.
I am also trained in the names, habits, suspected lairs, and related topics regarding the magical and natural creatures of the world.
Go ahead and roll. This is going to be a difficulty. Be honest with you, this is going to be a difficulty 6.
Oof.
And that's
you are going to
eased from
ease
a
that
7?
down to a 5.
Can I aid his roll?
So I need a 15 or
yes,
above.
you can add your own knowledge down to a 4.
Okay, so with deliberation, it's a 16.
Okay. You don't know specifically what this is, but it is something powerful enough to bring her back from death, and seems like it is transforming her.
But why would it?
Laura sees you contemplating, your eyes kind of shifting as you think over what you know, what this possibly could be. And she locks with your eyes for a moment and says, Vernon, am I going to be okay?
In that moment, I think Vernon's very much reminded of his eldest daughter. Which is why it breaks his heart a little to say, I really don't know.
There's one more thing that I'll share, and then maybe we should wake up Elmer, but I don't know, his judgment wouldn't help me right now. I had a dream, I guess. I don't know if it was real, but last night woke up and there were these large owls and they kept calling me a freak. Which is the most terrorizing part of it, but actually there was more to it. I called out to something, and they said that he has me, and I don't know what that means, and I don't know. This is all just too much. This has to be a nightmare or something. I don't know.
I walk over to Laura and I hand her a not the best handkerchief, and I kind of just stand near her. Like a hand almost goes to her shoulder, but then retreats. You know, and I just want to be helpful, but dreams are only part of the truth. And our mind does play trick on us. So, you know, maybe there is something, but maybe it ain't all bad.
Maybe I died and this is just my own personal hell. I have no idea.
Well, apart from the werewolves, your own personal hell isn't so bad, coming from my experience.
You're not the one whose jaw is split.
This may be rather amiss, and I apologize for the indignity of it. If something like this happens again, sometimes it's better to just die.
Her jaw drops at that. She looks so offended.
Oh no, it fell off!
Damn it, I was going to make that joke in chat.
Chet, that humming tune that you know is related to that gut feeling, it gets stronger the more you guys sit here and talk, rightfully talk, expel worries, share concerns rightfully, but every moment more, that humming gets a little bit stronger, and that pull a little bit more for all of you, but especially for you.
I don't want to interrupt anything. This seems important, but the wind has been kind of speaking to me through song, and I think it really wants us to go to the lighthouse.
But jaw still dropped. She looks right at you, Vernon, and said, "Don't you dare think that I wanted any of this." And goes over and, like, toes Elmer.
I know you didn't.
And I think with that, you all head off back into that marsh, leaving behind the decaying corpse of one Bartholomew Crest, a coin bequeathed to him in a gesture of kindness and mercy shown in this clearing. You all crest now past another group of reeds. You've had to cross a number of snaking little rivers that change daily with these tides. The walking is hard and the crossing is harder, but that lighthouse is coming into view now. You've been hiking for about 8 miles, and you are now walking along a particularly flat portion of the marsh where the grasses are shorter, these thin, stringy grasses that nestle and twist and combine together to create a rolling landscape. And of course, the thing that you see right now is the lighthouse, and next to it is a huge pile of oyster shells, bleached in the sun, 60 feet tall, nestled up against the lighthouse. Lighthouse classic red and white, stretching up to a large balcony, a good 100 feet tall, with a cabin at the bottom of it that has a gangplank going up to it for when it storms and floods in the region. You are maybe 400 or 500 feet away from it when all of you notice, running in a perfect circle in a 400-foot circumference around the lighthouse in single file, a line of black-eyed Susans, their yellow petals gently swaying in the wind as if all taking part in a dance together, their jet black center swaying with them, green leaves touching against each other, creating almost a barrier. And as you step past them, all of you are able to step past but one. Laura, you are met with an invisible wall that you find impenetrable.
Ow?
What's going on?
You guys are past this barrier, and she's like literally like hands up on a wall, like banging on it as if there is a wall there.
I mean, these flowers are beautiful, but they don't grow like this.
What do you mean?
I mean, look at them in a line, and the Chesapeake it's got wonderful soil, but not typically would you find flowers like this out here.
Is there a kind of nature check I could make about that?
Sure. Chet, I would also like you to make a knowledge roll and ease it by 1.
Sure.
I was just gonna ask if I could do that. Perfect.
Can I ease it using Wilderness Explorer?
No.
I'm excited for Sky to be like, and with a difficulty of 1, you say, John, you're wrong.
No. You are right. And yeah, I mean, good on you. So this is going to be a challenge 4. Chet, you're going to automatically ease that by 1. Elmer, you're going to ease that by 1 because your knowledge nature or whatever it was.
I don't have a knowledge nature. I was hoping to use Wilderness Explorer, but it's not going to work.
Is that it's a skill? Or
no, it's an ability.
Yeah, it's an ability, exactly. So no, not going to use it. How'd you do?
I failed.
Okay. Chet?
I passed.
This is the work of witches.
Ooh. That's
They
what I
put
was
up
thinking.
these barriers to keep out threats.
Does this seem like green witches or more classic occult witch?
This is
casting?
nature. This is the power of green right here.
It seems someone wants to keep beasts away from the lighthouse. A green witch did this.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, you're a human, so it's an animal.
I'm sorry, they want to keep freaks out.
That word burns her like holy water on a vampire. Just like she recoils and just like, what? What do you mean?
Wait, he don't mean nothing, Laura. Look, I'll probably be blocked out too, and I'll put my hand up against what I think is a wall.
There's no barrier there for you.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry, Laura.
Just go inside. I'll be out here.
Well, I can wait out here with you.
She's just dejected. She just looks at the ground.
That simply won't do. You all hear a voice from amongst you, and you look left and right. Don't see anybody. You look down, and you see a younger-looking woman, maybe 16, 18, whose face is covered by an old wooden crab pot. You can't see her face or expression. She is standing straight, but is incredibly short, so only, probably below 4 feet tall. She is dressed in spotted, wet fabric that has been stitched together by reeds and grasses. It seems to be made of natural materials, and she carries on her back a large bag that is as large as she is. Her skin is also covered in young oysters that are gasping gently for air and open and close their mouths. And they also seem to sing and hum a soft song. Chet, you would recognize that song. Her skin is pale, pale white, too. And she moves the crab pot, looking at all of you, says, "Come along now. It's time to meet. It is time to talk."
Our friend can't get past your threshold.
And she will not.
Why is that?
Come along.
Is there a place you can go safely?
She will be fine there. I'm sure someone of her power can protect herself.
What? Excuse me. What do you mean, someone of her power?
I don't need to explain myself to one like you.
Laura, only you hear that.
You guys see her just like recoil again.
Come along. We have food and shelter and things you want and need.
No, ma'am, I'm sorry. There's just some things men of my type are taught from a young age. We don't leave a lady out.
Then you will miss out on getting back the dead rise.
What are you talking about, my boat? How do you know about my boat?
We know many things about all of you, and we know what you need. And what you want. So you'll come with me and speak to my sister and I.
John, go. I'll be okay.
Come, let us go. And she walks towards the lighthouse, expecting you all to follow. Other than you, Laura.
John, just go. I'll be okay.
Well, okay, Laura. I'm sorry.
No, it's if something happens, I'll holler.
All right. Well, you take this, and he hands you a small pocket knife.
She accepted it, and she just sits down on the ground, starts drawing in the dirt.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna give you the shotgun, but I don't want to show up, John.
And I'll take a knife.
You can totally upstage me. He was like, now this is a knife.
I don't think she would take
that's
a
a
gun.
cute gift.
She has no idea how to use one. So.
I was gonna say, nestle it in between your arm, but no.
No time for a lesson. Which lady says go?
I'll trust the wish lady's judgment.
Yeah. You all follow along.
Elmer has hesitation. Just in general. Thanks, Ruth. I appreciate those kind words. You can't get that hairball out, can you?
She nuzzles into you.
Like, is she trying to get me to move forward? And
No, she's just nuzzling in and comforting you.
Oh, great!
While also
thank
making
you.
awful noises.
Yeah, great. I love it. I mean, Sky, you know why I would have hesitation, but...
Oh, yes. You have a lot of hesitation here. And I would feel that the moment you saw this woman, you would know that's a witch.
Yeah.
And you've had some bad experiences with witches.
I think because of that, Elmer's going to look to Chet specifically as the woman is walking off and says, now listen, I know that, you seem like you have a good read off her, but I can't.
I understand. We have to do something, and she's a powerful witch. You saw.
I know. I haven't told you everything yet, and I promise you I will, but not now. And I think he's going to kind of sit off to the side of Laura. Not directly next to her, but...
We'll let you guys know if we find anything.
It just nods.
All right, Elmer, you are going to stay with Laura?
Yeah.
All right. You stay with Laura outside of that barrier. John, Chet, Vernon, you all walk towards the lighthouse, following along this short, well, we know her as a witch, towards that oyster mound. Elmer, that tug, that urge, that gut feeling that you need to go to the lighthouse, that there's something important there, is getting stronger and stronger. I am going to need an intellect defense roll.
Okay.
Challenge of 2.
Can I ease this with danger sense or no?
No danger sense.
Okay. It's intellect. I am going to spend 3 points for my pool to ease that down
Roll
to
above a 3. It's almost guaranteed.
Yep. Don't mess it up. That's 10.
That's a 10. You shrug it off. You know that your friend, your workplace acquaintance, this poor person with you, this poor woman with you is suffering and needs people to be with right now. John, Vernon, and Chet, you walk closer, and as you do, it almost makes you want to hurl. The perception of that oyster pile changes, and you watch in a weird way as it grows. It's not like it shoots the sky. It's like it was always that tall, but your perception of it is shifting, and now it stretches into the clouds, pockmarked with broken dock pieces, ships, not yours, John, but other ones, and stretches and stretches into the heavens. This billions of oysters stretch up into the sky, taller than the lighthouse. Clouds and birds literally circle the tops as it disappears out of your view. And you draw closer to that lighthouse, and you could see a figure at the top of the lighthouse, just a silhouette before they walk around to the other side. And this short witch leads you towards the base of that oyster pile, where a large freight ship, an old wooden-sided ship, is busted and slanted out, and part of the hull is open, and you are able to enter into a decently sized space where there is some sparse furniture made of natural materials, charms and trinkets string along the ceiling, some of them illuminated by magic, providing a light green glow to the entire space, but cracks in the ceiling allow for natural light in, so it is this motley of natural lights showing off the true colors and green dyeing everything. And standing on the far side of the room is another woman, but she is taller, and in this light is beautiful, perfectly angled features on her face, almond-shaped eyes with eyes that glow a beautiful shade of yellow that shine in the dark, golden, not like the sickly yellow of that werewolf, but golden and radiant. She is dressed in a gown of old nets and anchor lines that show off a slender figure. Her skin is pitch black, but with strange growths that bulge and protrude along her skin, revealing strange shining growths. They crack and bleed slightly, and it's clear that they are irritating as she gently scratches at one of them. But underneath is something spherical and beautiful. And she turns. Welcome. You must be tired, I would assume. Sit, please. Spat. And she turns to the other witch. Will you please provide them something to eat? Something edible? Yes, something they will like. Yes, all right. And goes off to what looks like almost a makeshift kitchen and prepares some sort of sparse greens for you all to eat and lays it out on a table. Here you are, Pearl. Food for our guests. and now you know their names of Spat, the shorter one, and Pearl, the taller one.
You have a lovely home.
Thank you.
My name is Vernon.
Yes, thank you. Would ask for your names. We have felt your whispers along the grassy reeds and the gurgling brooks, and we know that you seek egress from these lands. I am Pearl, and this is my dear sister Spat. Charmed to meet you.
Likewise. And I offer a hand,
Pearl would reach out and gently place a hand on you, and it is cold to the touch. And you get a feeling of wrath despite her calm nature. A storm that is landlocked in a coast. John and Chet, do you introduce yourselves?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I'm Douglas, John Douglas.
Before answering,
Chet, this is important for you right now. What do you do?
Well, I do have the enabler ability, see the unseen.
Okay.
You automatically perceive creatures and objects that are normally invisible, insubstantial, or hidden via magic.
I hate to say this, because this ability keeps going up. They're not really hiding anything from you physically. I would like you to roll again, now getting a closer look at them.
Okay.
Once again, what did I say the challenge was last time? A 4?
4.
Yes. Once again, challenge 4, you're going to ease it by 1, just for your innate backstory with these knowing witches, especially those of the green.
Word. I'm going to spend some effort to lower that again.
That's a good idea.
I would like to pass this roll.
Nice.
Very fair.
That's a nat 20.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh, man, I needed you to succeed. I did not need you
Episode
to
of
succeed
20s.
that hard. You look at them, and you know not to share your name. It doesn't matter if it's not your true name. It doesn't matter if it's not, like, magical. Giving them the name Chet doesn't inherently mean they can just weave a spell and control you. But you should only give witches that you trust your name. You should give witches of the green your name. These are not witches of the green. These are witches that have stolen the green.
Oh, shit.
And we cut away from that to Laura and Elmer back outside, sitting there, maybe chatting idly, maybe just in silence. Maybe, Elmer, you're trying to teach Ruth some tricks, and Ruth is excelling. But up to you guys.
Yeah, Laura's not engaging in conversation with Elmer. I think when Elmer sat down to stay, she maybe gave him a look, but then continued to just kind of draw into the ground, maybe with the hilt of the knife that John gave her.
I think Elmer is fairly silent to Laura as well, not really wanting to talk about his decision with her at the moment, and is more focused on Ruth. But he does keep glancing up towards the direction that everybody went, with this itching at the back of his neck.
To which I think she might notice then and be like, "Are you curious?"
Curious on what? What they have to offer? No.
Curious on what's going on inside, because I am, that's for sure.
Listen, I don't know what you want. They clearly seem to know what we want, but I know they can't give it. Not what I want. They're the ones that took it.
What?
When I was a kid, I grew up in the foothills of Appalachia. Not much happens out there. Most of it really happens in the mountains, but, we were kids and we liked going out and exploring. Me and my friends, one day we went a little bit deeper than we typically did. And, well, we found something that we probably shouldn't have. It was me and my friend Ruth. We were maybe 8 at the time.
Ruth.
Yeah. He looks down at the otter.
The otter currently has caught a little crab and is gnawing on it.
Laura smiles at that. What did you find?
Well, we found a cabin out there. Honestly, feel like we've been in that area 1,000 times, never seen it before, but that's sometimes how Appalachia works. One day something's there, the next it's not. And we went inside. Of course, Martin was too chicken shit to go in, but me and Ruth, damn, she was brave. We both went in and, looked around a little bit. I got this little piece of honeycomb here. Pulls it out of his pocket. It's like encased in amber, preserved. And Ruth got this kind of weird frog-looking thing in a jar. Thought it was so weird and, fun. And then she stopped showing up. Never really knew what happened. Town said she just kind of went missing, ran away maybe. Next thing I knew, we were moving out of town. And, I thought that was the end of it. But I looked into the weird, looked into the strange. That's how Owl found me, and my first mission took me out to Georgia. I went with this guy by the name of Weller. He was the senior agent on the mission and everything, and there was a cabin. Of course, he insisted on going inside, checking it out, had me stand and watch. And then I saw her again. Same as ever.
In the cabin?
No, outside. She looked like she was trying to warn me. She couldn't talk or nothing. Then I heard a scream from the cabin, and I ran. I did. I tried to get to him, but he was stabbed. Kitchen knife. Witch wasn't holding the blade, but she was standing there pointing at him. He was holding it himself. She tried to get me, but Ruth jumped at her, possessed her for a second, giving me enough time to get away, and
A witch?
Yeah, they're not all good.
I mean, you sure it wasn't just the person who, you knew they were a witch?
He, snaps a twig in his hand as you say that and says, it's people like you. Every goddamn time you deny what happened to her, you are spitting on her goddamn memory. Things happen to people. Things that are strange, and every time somebody tries to explain it away, that puts the blame on her. She wasn't careful enough. She shouldn't have been out in the woods.
Hold on there, because I'm not saying anything is her fault. I'm just saying, you're sure that it was a witch? I mean, are you sure that she didn't just grow apart or something? Or
I've seen her ghost twice now. I can't call on it myself, but I saw it once in that cabin in Georgia, and then I saw it in the fog on the way here.
She kind of sits quietly to that for a second and just lets that sit in the air between them. I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? That it happened to her, or that you keep denying it?
Well, hold on. I'm not denying her. I'm just looking for facts. I'm looking for what it could have also been. Like what it could have also, what could have caused it? What could have happened?
Would be a great rebuttal if you could hear your words right now. As you get heated with each other in this moment, and we don't reach a satisfying conclusion yet again to these two butting heads, as that plucking of strings grows louder and louder. And Elmer, you can't hear it. But Laura, it turns into a song, fiddle music, and it's so clear where it's coming from. Towards the marsh behind you, specifically towards the waterline.
Oh, that's so good. Then that sentence that I just said does not complete. It's almost like she gets speech jammed, where like she's trying to put the words out, but she just, it doesn't quite. And there's, what is that sound? And she gets up and she's like, it's out there, and points in the direction of the music.
Your feet move on their own and you start walking towards it.
Laura, what?
I'm going. It's
out
there. The music. It's out here. It's out here.
Laura's going faster, her feet picking up pace. As
Elmer
she starts
is going to get up and chase after her, bow drawn. Come on, Ruth.
Do you grab Laura? Try and grab her arm. You don't need to tackle her, but do you?
No.
Okay.
Elmer is going to follow her.
Laura, you get to a portion and suddenly the marsh is hundreds of feet above you, this bank of peaty area. You are now below the reed line, wet mud before you, that music getting louder, your stomach gurgling as you feel a hunger that you've been feeling in every single episode before this, that I have been describing this whole time. And it stretches above you, pockmarked with little caverns that are now caves to you. Originally only the size where you might be able to fit a finger or two inside of them, maybe peer inside if you stretch down, are now large caves, and one of them, fiddle music, is pouring out of it, jaunty but jarring. Elmer, you see Laura just staring ahead, slack-jawed. Blood trickling down from that line that reaches down to her chin. And I ask again, do you grab her? Do you touch her?
Seeing her lip bleeding and staring out at the reed line, Elmer's eyes are scanning the horizon, trying to see what she is seeing.
Nothing.
He's going to place a hand on her shoulder, not trying to snap her out of it, but just trying to connect.
Fiddle music is screeching through your head. It is not beautiful. It is haunting and awful and shrill. You almost feel like your ears are going to bleed. Laura, it is beautiful. It is a song. It is life. But Elmer, you are now trapped in there, and you see the marsh stretching above you. It is dead and decaying. There is a rotting fish nearby. There is piles of animals. There is a blue crab that has been gutted out, its sinew and flesh strewn above you and over you, leading into a cave. And you both have to walk inside. into a muddy cave. The mud up to your elbows. And suddenly something starts rising out of that mud, larger than both of you combined. It has a gray shell, 8 legs, 1 claw that is constantly scooping up mud and shoving it into mandibles. The other massive and long as it strikes out at you, Elmer, knocking you back against the wall of the cave. Please make a defense roll really fast.
Can I use sensing danger and or
Yes,
initiative on this?
Yes.
Can I use initiative? Okay, both.
Not
What is the
initiative,
difficulty?
but the sense
Okay.
danger. It is going to be a difficulty 6. You're going to ease it by 1 because of that, down to a 5.
And what is the pool? Speed?
Might. It could be
Might.
speed or might. Might or
I'm
speed,
happy to
whichever
take
one you would
might
like.
because I'm going to use an edge to reduce that down.
So you're going to spend 2 in order to
yes, I
use
spend
the effort.
2.
Okay, then.
Correct.
So you spend 2 there. All right, go ahead,
Difficulty
roll.
4
Now you
now,
need to-
right?
Yep, so roll above a 12.
14.
14. The claw swings at you, slamming into the mud. You manage to stumble backwards. You fall down into the mud, though, and its focus turns off of you, these huge mandibles, as it leans down towards you, and you can almost tell that it is smiling. Hello, Laura. It's good to meet you. I am resplendent, am I not? You are my herald. I brought you back. I am the god of fiddler crabs, and you are going to make me very powerful indeed. But for now, let us eat. Fill your stomach. And it's shoveling in mud, and Laura, I want you to eat mud. I want you to shovel dirt and swallow it down as we end the episode here.
Oh my god, what?
And we'll see you all next week.
Oh my fucking
What?
god. Oh my fucking god, that was incredible.
Fucking crying.
Anywho, who's first? Nate, you got anything to plug?
I can't breathe.
What's up, Internet? I'm Nate. I've been playing Chet. If you enjoyed me, you should check out Escape the Dungeon podcast or other places on the internet.
Oh my god.
I have different names on the internet. Find them. It's like a scavenger hunt.
Find them.
Popcorn Andrew.
I don't. Our Patreon's really neat. You can go on there because we'll talk about this on the
We're gonna
recap.
have some shit to talk about.
possibly every recap's after because we just met the god of fucking fiddler crabs apparently.
Bruh.
Pop 2 Seth.
Do you ever eat a bunch of mud? I would probably say don't do that. Probably
It's pretty
probably not a
5-star,
good idea.
actually.
No, it's not good.
The most pretty 5-star.
Contains microbes that aren't good for
Oh,
you.
it's 5-star.
But you know what is 5-star? This podcast, maybe. If
In
you
the
say
mud.
that, you could leave a review and you let us know that it's 5-star, or you could let us know that it's dirty marsh mud that Laura ate. She did that. Wow. Popcorn to Casey?
Check out Homie and the Dude, hatvbuilder.com. Get some fun supplements for your games at home. Use our code RPJesters for 20% off. Just like Laura's gonna be 20% heavier with mud.
But do their
Brothers.
supplements have the god of the fiddler crabs in it?
I
That's
don't know.
what I need to know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Homie, dude, get on it.
Maybe. Also, live show in July. Woo. Rachel.
I need everyone to know that Sky is sitting there with this smug little grin on his face
Yeah.
and is
Great time.
dancing.
Hey, you want to hear one more thing?
No.
I
Rachel-
dedicate my
Rachel-
plug to that. Yes.
Rachel, do you remember what your favorite animal was in episode 1?
It was a fiddle crab, wasn't it?
Anywho, blah 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 blah.
Nom 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 nom.
I thought it was a hermit crab.
Sting, purple, trained sting, that shall not be spoken.